Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be testing friction in Trailmakers. This video idea is inspired by this comment I received on my snowball dispenser supersonic boom video by Moro Blizniak 4457. They said that I always choose to make a supersonic vehicle on a flat belly. It's a lot of friction. Maybe slap 2 chrome bumpers at the end and front of your vehicle. Now, I used to try to use, in the early days of supersonic videos, I used to try to use wheels, and I think I even experimented with skis, and then I ended up getting the most success with just nothing but a flat bottom like this, so I assumed that it was just the best way to go, but I've never actually tested if there are better ways. Because as you can see, this doesn't feel like a lot of friction. And what it enables me to do is save on aerodynamics by not having wheels sticking out of the vehicle or anything like that. But let's actually try a couple of different options. I am intrigued by this chrome bumper option because we'll essentially be lifting the front and back with a single chrome bumper, and these chrome bumpers do not have aerodynamics. So there will be less vehicle in contact with the ground. Will that result in a higher speed? I think the best way to do that is we're not going to be using flat cannons, that's for sure. We're going to be using a more consistent form of propulsion, a decent amount of length, and I'm going to add some weight too, just because we want an easy test. We're not trying to break the sound barrier in this video. We're just trying to see what has the least amount of friction. So with this, if I press space, apparently I've added way too much weight or not enough thrust. Here, let's actually add another thing of thrust and reduce the weight. There we go. All right, so we should get up to a max speed pretty quickly. Okay, it's not quite as quick as I thought, but it'll be fine. Maybe I should have it be less aerodynamic. I don't know. I don't know what the best way to do this is. Whatever I do, I just have to have it be consistent. All right, we're still increasing in speed. I feel like we're gonna hit the map. It's taking way too long. Our speedometer's being a little bit weird. I feel like I'm gonna hit the edge of the map before I get to a max speed. All right, so here's the question though with friction. The friction should affect our max speed, but what if it mainly affects our acceleration? I don't know how to do that. There might be a way to use the sensors and logic gates to give a defined speed value at a defined time, so I can do it live here rather than having to only know in like post how much acceleration I had. So we'll have a number display. We're gonna need a speed sensor. The speed sensor is gonna output measurement into the number display for now. Let me just check. Okay. That is not the same as what is on my speedometer. What is that? What measurement is that? Is that miles per hour? All right, we're around 10. Nope, definitely not miles per hour. Yeah, I'm not sure what that number is. It's definitely not miles per hour or kilometers an hour. I would like it to just be one of those values from the speed sensor. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what this value is. It doesn't have to be exactly like miles per hour, kilometers an hour. We just have to know that this value is consistent, and higher value is better for speed. So let's go with that. So now what I want to do is have this number freeze after a designated time allotted. All right, I think it was really easy. I set the duration to 5 seconds and it does exactly what I wanted to do, I think. So if I start going, after about 5 seconds, it seems to stop outputting numbers. So I think that kind of works. I'm gonna try a 2-second one. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. After 2 seconds, it stops at that value. So that kind of is exactly what I was looking for. So in that case, to make this symmetrical, we're just gonna do that and that. So I think let's give it 10 seconds. All right, so then after 10 seconds, I'm gonna do 3 tests of 10 seconds. And we're gonna see what value it gets to and see how consistent it is. So 71.06 after 10 seconds is where it stopped. Here's test number 2. .06 exactly again. I'm actually impressed with that consistency. I would expect it to be off like at least a little bit, but let's see if we can get 3 71.06s in a row. If so, then these are going to be very precise results. Okay, 71.33. So a little bit of a variation there, but ultimately the same speed. All right, so now a lot of people want me to put skis on these things to see if it'll be better. Now, the thing with skis is they are difficult to attach while keeping our aerodynamic frame. So I think I will, yeah, see, this is already gonna be hard to do without modifying too much. So I'm gonna try to add minimal weight. I'm just gonna add these like this. There we go. And check our aerodynamics. All right, that doesn't affect our aerodynamics, but it does add just that little amount of weight. We have skis there, and I will also add skis to the front. But how do I get... All right, see, now in order to do this, I need to fill in this now. There we go. So I've had to add this whole thing in order to attach the skis up in the front. So we're heavier now, but we also have, you can see, we are not touching the ground with our vehicle anymore. It is just skis. So let's see if we can do better than 71 in 10 seconds. Wait, was that 10 seconds? No, I feel like that was not 10 seconds. I'm gonna go from the start. I feel like it started before we started. Weird. What? We actually have reached a cap. Like, we're not going any faster than this. This is not right. This doesn't feel right at all. This is just bad with the skis. Hold on. Let me check my gyro strengths, because I don't think that that's how this is supposed to work. All right, this is on 2. Let's put this up to 5. That's too much. We don't want vibration. 2.5. That looks like it's not vibrating. All right, well, here we go. We're going. What do you see that thing happen there? We're like lifting up in the back in a weird way. Did I create a broken ski system? What are these at? 2.94? Why? Let's go at 5. Okay, here we go. We have a speed cap of like 150 miles per hour. I actually do kind of feel like we're accelerating faster, but we get to a terminal velocity before the 10 seconds is up. Obviously, this is just bad for supersonic experiments. There's a reason why I tried skis and then didn't use skis. So perhaps not skis is the answer. But out of curiosity, all right, so we know that 71 is our 10-second measurement. Let's go down to 5 seconds. And let me see real quick. All right, so we're just gonna say 64. I didn't even know if I reached 5 seconds before I capped out, but we're gonna say 64 for this thing. And now I'm gonna remove all of the skis that I added, and let's see if we get higher than 64. All right, actually, hold on. I'm gonna do repair and then immediately go. See, I do feel like we are slower to accelerate. Wow. So look at that. There is a thing here. Friction does matter. But our top speed is non-existent with skis. And our acceleration is much better with skis. So there is that. But now what I'm really intrigued about is this chrome bumper idea. So if we go into here, into the decoration, there's this trim, chrome trim. So if I do one right here, you can see it doesn't add any aerodynamics. And then I do one right here. So this got to like what, 34 in 5 seconds? All right, here, let's do a quick repair. All right, still feels relatively slow. 35 within 5 seconds. I think this will probably compound over time. So let's bring this back up to 10 seconds. And the goal to beat is 71. All right, here it goes. Wow, 70.73. So these chrome bumpers, despite having much less points of contact with the ground, seems to not reduce the friction enough to make a difference. Let's try it again. Let's get 3 results. See if we get 70 again. If we get 71, I'm going to say that it essentially has made 0 difference. If we keep getting 70, then for some reason it's slight. Look at that, 70.73. For some reason it's slightly worse. Well, I'm going to retest without the chrome bumper too, just to see. But I'm feeling like this might actually be slightly worse. Oh, there we go, 71.03. All right, now I'm going to remove the chrome trim again. And let's see what happens without it. Do we get consistently above 71? $71.16. All right, let's reset. 71.07. So 71.06 was like our baseline. And 71.05. So the chrome bumper was on average ever so slightly lower than the non-chrome bumper version. So I think this explains why I use the flat bottom. It's simpler and it's effective. There is the intriguing thing with the skis though. I don't know why the skis gave me a terminal velocity so quickly. I don't think that's normal. But let me try putting the skis in the middle. So we just have one set of skis instead. I just realized I have no attachment point if I do it that way. So I will have to add something up to the front here. See, this is the one downside with the skis is you're adding mass. And make sure all the aerodynamics are filled in. All right. I don't know about that. Well, let's see what happens. What? Why is it so unstable with skis? I feel like something's different with skis than the last time I used skis for these things. So maybe something in the latest update has changed the ski physics. Because it really doesn't like skis right now. Even with the stabilizers, the skis are just like overriding our stabilization in a weird way. And I'm putting the skis flat against it like this because if I move the skis down, it adds another source of aerodynamics, and more arrows is always going to hurt more than whatever like friction gains we get. But I can't really think of another way to change the friction that may or may not help. Or have like a different result. The chrome bumpers I think was a pretty genius idea, just turned out not to work. The skis is like the obvious thing, but I had experience with that not working before. But anything else seems like it's just, we're just gonna get similar results. I feel like this is just the simple, or not this. I feel like this, just keeping it flat, it's just simple. It's easy, it's simple. Least amount of aerodynamics, and the friction is just not a big deal. All right, so at least now I know that I seem to have been doing the best option in my supersonic videos. I mean, no friction would be ideal against the ground, flying, but in order to fly, you have to add more stuff like wings and things, which is going to decrease your top speed. So I think I'm happy with I think I'm happy with the justification here. I feel justified that flat bottom sliding across the ground is efficient enough compared to anything else. So I hope that answers your question, and that was an interesting thing to test out, so thanks for the suggestion. Leave some more suggestions on other things you'd like to see tested in Trailmakers if you have any ideas down in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you'll probably enjoy some more you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.